It is the story of the morning, and it may be the story potentially of the year, depending on how this all plays out. Elon Musk suing OpenAI and the company's CEO, Sam Altman, alleging they have breached the company's founding agreement by putting profit ahead of benefiting humanity. Joining us right now is CNBC technology correspondent Steve Kovach. We've been going through the lawsuit.
Wild.
It is wild to see. It also is wild because we were talking about what the outcome of this case could be. It's unique in that Elon Musk is one of the few people who actually has standing in some ways to bring a case like this. Right. But then you have to think about what the quote-unquote damages are, if you will, if you're a judge. He is seeking to open up AI or open up OpenAI so that it is effectively truly an open source situation.
And to stop Microsoft from using it.
And to stop Microsoft from using it. The question is whether a judge would stop that, or a judge would say, we'll give you back your $50 million initially because those are the damages to you personally. But it also means that we could get real discovery in the case about all of the things that have transpired,
including and how
OpenAI has operated over these several years.
And what Microsoft knows. That's part of what they're pushing for, too.
Right.
He says that only, in the lawsuit, that only OpenAI knows what's in this ChatGPT-4. And they suspect Microsoft does, too.
And this is a thing that we've been talking about in AI, open source versus closed source. You have that European company, Mistral, who also just raised money from Microsoft, by the way. They're open source. Facebook is open source. You have Google and OpenAI as closed source. You can't tell. One thing that really stuck out to me is part of the case against OpenAI here, the argument that Musk is laying out, is they've achieved what's called artificial general intelligence. AGI is what the acronym is for. They're alleging ChatGPT-4 has already achieved that. If you talk to OpenAI right now, if you talk to the folks at Microsoft right now, they say, no way, we're nowhere close to AGI. So this whole part of this case, or a good chunk of this case,
you think rests on that?
That's what it sounds like. It says we believe, or something to that effect, like just based on our outside view, they've already achieved this milestone of artificial general intelligence, thereby negating the deal between Microsoft and OpenAI, because their deal says once OpenAI achieves AGI, they can't use it.
I read the case differently. I read that, but I don't believe that the whole case rests on that.
It doesn't rest, but that's a huge argument. If the case rests on that,
there's actually a problem. I think that is a component part.
But it's the nonprofit stuff
of the case. I think that the other issues are, because otherwise, if you were a judge, you could rule against this case in about 10 seconds and say there's no AGI.
Yeah.
But if you looked at how they did it, they separated the issues so that is sort of one of.
It's the contract, right? I mean, it's breach of contract. That is
and the contract is the founding agreement.
Correct.
That
Musk, they post in there.
That Musk and Altman sat down and agreed to, and I guess the sanctity of that contract is going to be what this whole thing is.
Exactly, and they have to prove, and we know how the structure got changed. OpenAI, they would tell you the way we have it structured today, we're still a nonprofit. We just have this other division here that they call capped profit. What that really means, we've never quite understood. So that seems to be the division they're going after and saying this is effectively becoming the R&D version or situation for Microsoft.
The bigger question I have is whether, if you're OpenAI and Microsoft, you actually want to settle this case, because the truth is, and to me this goes to I'm of the view that this case is all about discovery.
Yeah.
This case has almost nothing to do with anything else except
there's no money. They're not asking for money.
And therefore, if you don't want to participate in the discovery process,
just write a check.
The question is, what kind of check could you write? And is there a check that you could write?
Or does the richest guy in the world want a check?
No, I don't think he does. And so then the question is sort of, how does this really play out?
And then, let's zoom back a little bit from what's happening in the case. Let's talk about what's happening in Musk's X world, right? He's trying to create XAI, which is it's a competitor to OpenAI. They have a chatbot called Grok. It's supposed to be unwoke or something. Fine, it hasn't taken off. He's trying to raise money. He has unsuccessfully been able to raise money.
You're in the camp of maybe
sour grapes.
That you think this is not just sour grapes. Do you think that this is a cynical play to compete in a better way?
That was my initial read.
Okay.
Here I am, Elon Musk, the richest guy in the world, the hottest startup in the world is OpenAI, and I own Twitter.
I'm going to take the other side of that bet, which is I think that he fundamentally, at a visceral and personal level, feels philosophically frustrated with what happened in a way that, by the way, may be right, may be wrong. Meaning maybe he shouldn't feel the way he does, but I don't disbelieve that he feels the way he does.
I'm sure feelings are great. Do feelings work in a case like this or in court? Maybe he can say I'm mad.
In this case, they might actually.
Right. And what could he possibly get out of in this discovery? What is he gonna? What advantage does he get out of that, other than maybe nuking a competitor so his platform could get better?
Well, that's the issue that where I'm going with.
Well,
I'm not sure it's about nuking the competitor as a competitor. I think it's about nuking the company that he feels on a very personal basis that he effectively create. This is like.
Well, he's been taking credit since it became really popular. He's been taking credit for it.
And you're saying that you don't think he should have taken credit?
No, he should. No, he was part of the founding.
You say it in such a very unique way. The reason I'm making the point.
Right.
It's literally. And I try to put myself in other people's shoes to sort of meet them where they are,
sure.
right? He's somebody who looks at this and says, this is my baby.
Right.
Right? I helped birth this baby.
But he left, too.
Well, he left under very unique circumstances. Yeah. And by the way, against the narrative, or against him, you could argue that one of the reasons he left was because there's an argument, there was a period of time where he was even trying to turn OpenAI himself into a commercial entity. Remember, that's going to become a separate argument about this. But I do think that it's a very personal issue rather than a competitive one. I'm sure other people will have
it also
more.
Feels sour. That too feels sour grapes-ish, right? I mean,
it doesn't really matter. Look, he contributed, according to this complaint, he contributed $44 million to OpenAI between 2016 and September 2020. It's not nothing.
No, that's real money.
The question comes down to, does the founding agreement stand or not?
Yeah.
And if they violated the founding agreement, I mean, I think that's where the judge
it puts Microsoft in a really tough position if this gets unwound, because Microsoft is so heavily dependent. I don't know if we have Microsoft shares on here.
And by the way, it may not be that it gets unwound. Maybe that nothing really happens, but it becomes one of the great distractions for OpenAI, for all of the clients who are thinking, do I want to be part of this or that? Do I want to go?
It's good for Google.
By the way, it may be good for Google. It may be good for a whole number of other AI companies. It could be good for even some of the stuff that Amazon's doing.
Yeah, exactly. Or Anthropic. I mean, this is a time for them. But
maybe there's a partnership they work out.
Could be.